we're on page 34. We've gone through the terms in the first section, part 1. We're talking about notation or notes. Okay, and I'd like to do something with you. You can do this at home. As you can see, it's going to take a little practice. But it helps internalize notation, it helps internalize rhythm, and it'll make you feel, I hope, it will help you feel the music a little bit more inwardly as we get into the rhythmic complexities. So we're starting with this note up here. This is called a whole note. This is on page 34 if you want to see it in your text. A whole note, I'm going to assume for the moment that we've talked about beat, which is a regular pulsation, thump, thump, thump in music. It does not, in a beat, no individual note is louder or accented more than another. In a meter, you get, for example, 4/4 measure, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to assume for now that one measure is a whole note, 4 beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, as in Mary had a little lamb. Those were 4 beats, right? That's a measure, that's a segment of beats. Now, if a note takes up all 4 of those beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, ma, that's a 4-beat note. That's called a whole note. Now, what I'd like you to do, sit in your chair, which I assume is what you're doing, and with your left foot, play a whole note. I'll give you the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice. Excellent. You've done very well. Now, the next smallest note in our regimen here is called a half note. Strangely enough, a half note is half as long as a whole note. So if a whole note got 4 beats, excuse me, I'll be back. A half note gets 2 beats. Now we're going to use our right foot to make half notes. The beat, once again, is thump, 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 thump. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are half notes. Each one of them is getting 2 beats. Thump, 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 thump. Ready? Now let's put them together. Start with your whole note on your left foot. I'll tell you when to add the right foot. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Add the right foot. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Together, right. Together, right. Together, thump, thump. Make sense? Okay, now the next one. Next shortest note is called a quarter note. Quarter note, strangely enough, is quarter as long as a whole note and gets 1 beat in this case because each measure gets 4. One of those, 1/4 of 4 is 1. So, and we're going to use our left hand for this now. The left hand will go like this. The beat is 1, 2, 3, 4. The quarter notes do the same thing. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice how simple it is.
For now.
Okay, now let's start with the whole notes again. We'll add them one by one. Starting with a whole note, 4 beats to a whole note. 1, 2, 3, left foot. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Now we're going to add the right foot in a moment. 2, 3, and 1, 2, right. Together, right, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, add the hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's getting there. Hasn't ways to go yet, but we're getting there. Now that's internalizing. It's complex thinking. It does a couple of things. It creates a sort of synchronicity in your brain, which is good not only for music, for feeling and sensing music, but it's also good for other things as well. It creates this. That's really what dexterity is about. It's that kind of thing. Of course, this is a kind of dexterity we're not used to, but it's good for other things as well. I'm not sure what those other things are, but okay. The next smallest note are called eighth notes. Those look like quarter notes. Notice that the whole note is just a circle. A half note is a circle with a stem. We call that a stem. The quarter note is a circle that's filled in with a stem. And the eighth note, which is an eighth as long as a whole note, is a circle with a stem and a little flag. Now you can see that we've put eight of them next to each other. They're a little hard to read because they're sort of bunched up. We'll talk about that in a second. For the eighth note, we're going to use our right hand. So we'll do that at the beginning alone, and then see what happens. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And because there is no number between 1 and 2, but there are 2 notes on each beat, what musicians will do when they're counting, they'll say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 when they're talking about eighth notes, just to give that rhythm, that extra note, a voice or a sound. Now, good luck. We're going to start with whole notes. So there's the prize for the winner. It's an unattached stand-up grid 5 reheater with smoke window. I don't know what that is. 1, 2, 3, go. Left foot, 2, 3, 4. Left foot, 2, 3, 4. 2 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Add the right foot in a second. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right hand. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. We have variations of that. And just try that a couple times. It may take you a couple months, but it's worth doing that. Partly because it's fun, partly because it helps your brain, partly because it helps you hear music a little bit more deeply and sense the rhythms because you've internalized them. You've made them part of your body, so to speak. Okay, thanks.